I'm very stressed.
What do they do? We get rejected a lot, basically.
Yes. What the outcome was going to be, we're like, business. We might be out of business in 6 months.
Managing 10 people or 11 people is not easy, man.
Good morning and welcome back to season 2 of the Creator Sessions. This show is a little bit of a change of format.
Yeah, this is cool. This was when we were, this is when we were building our first proper office, well, second office.
It's up here.
Yeah, this is here.
What made you want to go this direction when it came to creating brand content?
I started following from an early stage of that. I was following a lot of work that Gary Vee was doing. And he was way ahead of his time, right? In terms of creating the Daily V vlog, in terms of the Ask Gary Vee show. But I looked around, I was like, cool, okay, so if that's what like best in class looks like in the US, let's have a look at what I'm competing with here. And I remember going through social accounts, like one after the other. And I was like, wow, nobody's doing anything. No agency had their own podcast. No agency was doing a behind the scenes video type of content. No agency was really telling their story. So I was like, this is such a wide open space. I didn't feel comfortable being on camera. I didn't really feel comfortable about talking about the agency. I had all those insecurities the same as anybody else would. I just realized that there was a huge opportunity from a business standpoint. So I was like, cool, let's just start turning the camera on and seeing what happens and just talk about the journey, talk about what it is that we're trying to do. Within the first 2 episodes, the response from the market was unbelievable. It was really, really interesting. And because of that market reaction, I was like, cool, we have to just keep doing something here. Testing. We're all good?
Yes, that's better.
Okay, let's rock and roll.
So how do you see Create now fitting within a global network? And how does that kind of change the ethos and the personality, or doesn't?
Look, it's a really good question.
Today announced it has entered into an agreement to acquire Create.
Stagwell expands meetup footprint with Create. Stagwell brings Create to the board with new acquisitions.
I don't think it does. Like if I'm thinking through the strategy for the year, I'm thinking through what I want us to achieve. The way that this works is they're essentially fueling us to do what we want to do. Nothing changes in terms of what we're going after, the clients we're going to work with, the scrappiness of like, okay, there is a system and a structure around us to tap into and take from and build on, but the reality of like, we're still running this business. It's us that's like, someone's given us rocket fuel, and that's the way that I see it. Some people sell a business and like step away, right? For us, this is literally unlocking chapter 2 of our growth. I am incredibly excited and incredibly competitive to use this new firepower that we've got to go hard at our competition, at our market, and see what we can build. Now I feel like all of a sudden we've been given the rocket fuel to scale this business, tapping into talent from all over the world that's going to allow us to build something that we wouldn't have been able to build on our own. And that's what I'm incredibly excited about.
So COP was obviously a huge piece of work, and we've been talking about early beginnings and the Imaginative Full-Time websites. Briefly tell us about that, about COP, what that meant for you in the business.
My experience in Baku in one word would be challenging. Good challenge, but challenging, yeah. This was my first time managing a project abroad, specifically in a country that I knew nothing about at all.
The first thing to recognize is, of course, how the team is able to mobilize to these, foreign, let's say, territories, but still hold the same kind of quality and still the same way of delivering content.
Look, it was a huge step forward for us to work on a global event that's outside of our region as well. It was a huge step forward for the business, and it's given us international credibility. And we're looking forward to hopefully working on more of those types of events, because I think we're good at it. The team's really strong. It shows that we can jump on a plane and have Create, the ethos of Create, the ability to deliver, the skill set in a third location. Amazing.
Let's go. So we were in total 12 people, went to Baku. We had Tala, who did the podcast. We also had 2 videographers and 2 editors. Then we were joined later on by 2 other videographers. Other than the actual crew of production, we've got Nadia, who was the producer on ground, and she has been phenomenal with, navigating the projects that's coming in every day.
We're just leaving Green Zone, heading over to Blue Zone, see how the rest of the team is getting on with the outlets. Let's go.
And then, of course, there is Caroline and Diogo. They were supporting me in terms of account management. They were doing the stories in both locations. So arriving at COP29 venue for the first time, the reason why it was challenging is because the space. So we have been told, obviously, that it's going to be done in an Olympic stadium. You would think that everything is going to be happening inside the stadium, but that wasn't it. So when you go there, there's a venue outside the stadium, there's a venue inside the stadium, and there's a venue across the street from the stadium.
All right, let's go to the Green Zone. Everything is so far away, so you gotta get your steps in.
The thing is, you plan. And you plan. After you plan, you review it with the client and you agree on things and everything. But one thing that you know about live coverage is that no matter how much you plan beforehand, when you are on ground, you never really know if you're gonna follow that plan or not. And the moment we arrived to the venue, I'm like, this whole plan is gonna need to change.
So then Tom wanted to go out and explore the city at 5 a.m. Welcome to Lisbon, dude.
Couldn't sleep.
Welcome to Lisbon.
Yeah, it's a little bit quiet. We need to find some coffee. We need to find some breakfast. But everyone's laughing at us when we're saying, "Are you open?" So it's still a little bit early.
So, I mean, the Web Summit was an interesting experience for us. We had a few partnership meetings that were aligned in that space. So, Lisbon at 7 a.m. or 6 a.m., something like this, a beautiful city. We're here for the Web Summit, which is going to be interesting. Meeting so many different people in the industry and seeing what technology is out there. But for now, the only technology I'm interested in is an espresso machine. So let's go find one. First one.
Okay, first one. When they say "when in Rome," this is "when in Lisbon." So let's see if the hype is real.
First bite rating.
Very good. Very good.
Nice. So from a advancement in technology and how AI is coming into our industry, I thought there was an interesting space to witness that change. But at the same time, that gave us kind of the motivation then to see how we can integrate AI within our systems and within our processes. So there's quite a lot of learning that we already took from the Web Summit, and slowly we'll start integrating in the way that we work.
So if there's one thing that you can be sure of with pretty much every major trade show around the world in this sector, Dubai is going to be here and it's going to be owning the space. I mean, out of all of the stands that we've seen across, God knows how many different halls here, thousands of different exhibitors, Dubai's got the main stand as always. It's great to go and see some old friends of ours. We've worked with Dubai Tourism for many years, worked with Business Dubai for many years. It's great to see them representing our home city right here in Lisbon.
What's your favorite example of a climate-friendly city?
Arad and I have been doing here for the past week and a half is character building. We go up to people, we ask them to talk to us, and then what do they do?
We get rejected a lot, basically. Yes. So we learn
But
how
it
to live
helps.
with it, basically.
We become
more resilient as people to handle rejection.
And we had to ask the public for their opinion on certain topics or to talk to us. And because a lot of the time we would go out and we would have to approach a lot of different people, and some of them would say no, some of them weren't able to speak, some of them didn't want to talk to us, or there were language barriers. But in the end, we always got what we needed, and it actually led to some really great moments and really great conversations as well.
We are on the last day. And yes, I want to thank Create Group, Nariman, for her leadership on having this team. And for me, it was a really unforgettable experience that I was with them on this journey. And yes, COP29 it is. Thank you, Create, and everyone.
And I say my biggest highlight was the very end of COP29, the last day.
1, 2, 3. Happy last day!
We just shot the last thing of day 12 of COP29, and we expected it to be less on the shoots, more on the edits to deliver everything that we have. Now we shot the last thing, so now it's just delivering everything that we have to do, and yeah, this is it.
When we were wrapping up, and that moment when you say it's a wrap, you know, it was honestly, you kind of in your head, you reflect to all the other days that we've been working, the long hours that we've been working, and what we have delivered. And the moment the client comes back to you with great feedback and thanks you and give you that hug, you know.
I'm exhausted. I'm happy to go back home, but I'm gonna miss everyone here, even Jogo.
She won't. She won't. It's all ice. It's the nostalgia of the last day.
What's like one moment, if you reflect on in the past year, that you're most proud of? And it could be a personal achievement.
Gosh, there's been a few.
You have a lot to choose from, Tom. I was going to say.
There's been a few, but I'll keeping with the business. Although we don't look for third-party recognition, I don't look for third-party recognition in that way. I think the awards play a role, and it makes me proud to see how happy people are that won those awards.
I think this year we applied for around 22 different awards, as in 22 separate submissions. The submission process for awards evolved a bit throughout the year because we're like installing a new best practice process across the agency. But right now the process is that we identify the award we want to submit for, then we identify the categories we want to enter. We make sure that we are eligible for these categories and that they're the best pick for the projects or for us as an agency.
Welcome to this, the 2024 Campaign Agency of the Year Middle East Award!
So we've won a few awards this year, including Digital Agency of the Year at Campaign Middle East Agency of the Year.
And who is your Digital Agency of the Year? This one brought to you by SeatTag. The winner this year is...
Create Group! Yes!
Create Group!
What was that like for you in that moment to kind of take home Digital Agency of the Year 3 years running, having known how touch and go things were at the start?
Yeah, it's those moments are quite surreal because those moments where we get to sit and see the team succeed is that's incredible, right? To see how everybody feels about that, how everybody reacts to that.
Also, we won gold, 2 gold at Nina Digital Awards.
And that's what I really love about the team that we have is everybody's passionate about what they do.
Our boys are.
It's not just a job for them, but it's something they love and they want to deliver at the best quality they can.
From a personal standpoint, sometimes it's quite surreal to think from where we've come from, and that there were agencies with like entire buildings with their names stuck on a building when we were on a single desk, and now we're able to go toe to toe with them with the best team in the region.
And I'm sure, you know, as we grow as a team, there's going to be more and more people recognizing.
Let's do it again.
Why do I feel like this is an exam? I don't have the right answers. I breathe, I eat, I sleep awards. 2 Dubai links or 3 Dubai links. When I click submit, it's like, wow, I'm on vacation for 2 weeks. Don't talk to me. Even if I'm not on vacation, here I'm on vacation. I'm very stressed.
So how does Rin actually cope with award stress? She loses her mind. But you know what? It all comes from how much she cares about having her colleagues and having these amazing projects and individuals recognized.
You know, like, I take full ownership of these submissions, and I always want to make sure that the work we submit is the best. I mean, we have a rule of thumb here is we submit to win. So we want these submissions to be top-notch.
3 of our producers nominated. It was a very heavy competition across other production houses. Did we expect that Jack was going to win?
Agents Producer Team of the Year. The award goes this year to...
I was confident that I had a good chance, honestly. Like, I looked at this year and I know how hard I worked for it. Yeah, I could say I was confident.
Jack Wilkinson!
I couldn't be prouder and happier for him. It's a big milestone for him in his career, and I'm so glad that I was able to contribute to his talent and his hard work being recognized like this.
I was very reluctant at the start, actually. This is all credit to Rindala and Tala. Like, without these girls, like, this award wouldn't have come. Yeah, I mean, credit to the branding team. Like, they're always singing our praise and pushing us forward. Yeah, and I think in general, like, especially on this Q4, working on these back-to-back shoot days, like, there's been a lot of instances where it's like I'll put my kids to bed on a Sunday night and I won't see them again until the Friday. So it's nice to take something home and also show them for what I'm working so hard for.
I think it was an amazing moment to see Jack being recognized at that show. I think he deserves every single bit of it. Jack works super hard on set and off set as well to make sure that there's a high quality of production that gets delivered across all projects.
Big smiles, big smiles. It's 5 more seconds, guys. Beautiful. All right, hold it, hold it. You guys look fabulous.
Closing off 2024 with a very strong achievements, I would say, for the whole team and for us as an agency. I think moving into next year, it transitioned for the agency from an independent to becoming part of a global network. It's something that is going to change a lot of things to the positive, and it's going to allow for a lot of new opportunities for us to experience as individual team players that are part of this team, but also as a company as well.
What comes next, with the access to talent, with the access to global footprint, the access to technology, all of the different ingredients and the dots that we can join together, I believe that at some point in the future, we will look back on this period and be like, wow, that first period was good, but that second period was incredible. And that's what I'm aiming at.